My mother-in-law poisoned my baby shower cake with laxatives. She wanted me to humiliate myself in front of 30 guests. What she didn't know is that I never eat cake, so when she cut herself the first slice to show me it was delicious, she spent the rest of the night locked in my bathroom. My husband Nolan was raised by a woman who collected men the way some people collect parking tickets. Fast, reckless, and always someone else's fault. His mom Della treated every boyfriend like a project, and Nolan like furniture. He cooked his own meals by age 9. He signed his own permission slips. He once told me she forgot his birthday 3 years in a row, and when he finally said something, she told him to stop being so needy. That word broke something in him. He spent years thinking love meant asking for nothing. When I met him, he flinched every time his phone rang. Della would call drunk at 2 a.m. asking for rent money, then scream at him when he said no. I sat through 3 of those calls before I told him he didn't owe her his piece. He started pulling away. She started calling me a snake. I got pregnant the spring after our wedding. We'd been trying for almost a year and had one loss that gutted us both. So when the test came back positive, we told no one for weeks. Just held it between us like a candle. We were afraid the wind would take. At 4 months, we hosted a small shower. Nothing fancy. Backyard, paper plates. My mom's cooking. Della wasn't invited. She showed up anyway, holding a bakery box and wearing white like she thought it was her event. She walked straight past me and hugged Nolan. Didn't look at my belly once. Then she opened the box. I brought cake, she said loud, like she was saving the party. Lemon with cream cheese frosting. Made special. Nobody asked her to bring anything. Nobody asked her to come. But Della had a gift for making herself the center of every room by acting like she belonged there more than anyone else. My best friend Ro pulled me aside. She's been in her car for 20 minutes before she walked in. I watched her from the window. That sat wrong with me. 20 minutes doing what? Sitting? Fixing the cake? Both? I didn't say anything. I just decided I wasn't touching that cake. The shower went fine. People ate, laughed, handed me tiny shoes wrapped in tissue paper. Della performed the role of loving grandmother so hard that even Nolan looked uncomfortable. She kept touching my belly without asking. She kept saying, I just hope the baby gets Nolan's nose, then laughing like it was charm and not an insult. When it came time for cake, Della insisted on cutting it herself. She plated a fat slice and put it right in front of me. Eat up, mama, she said. You're eating for 2 now. She stood there, watching, waiting. Her eyes locked on my fork like she was timing something. I smiled and told her I couldn't do dairy right now. Doctor's orders. It wasn't true, but it was easy. Her face flickered for half a second. Then she recovered. Oh, that's a shame, she said, her voice a little too light. I watched her next move. She grabbed my slice back, shrugged, and said, well, I'm not wasting it. She took a bite, then another. She made a show of it, moaning about how good it was, looking around like she expected applause. 20 minutes later, she was gone. Not goodbye gone. Sprint to the bathroom gone. We heard everything through the door. My mom froze mid-sentence. Ro looked at me and mouthed, the cake. Della was in there for almost 40 minutes. When she finally came out, her makeup was streaked and her white outfit wasn't white anymore in the places that mattered. She tried to laugh it off. Must be a stomach bug, she said, barely making eye contact. Nobody said a word. The silence was thick enough to sit on. That night, Ro and I cut into the leftover cake. Instinct. We found a small zip bag wedged under the bottom layer, half empty, with residue inside. I looked it up. The markings matched an over-the-counter laxative, the kind you dissolve in liquid. She'd worked it into the frosting. Not just a pinch, enough to cause serious cramping for someone 5 months pregnant. I showed Nolan. He didn't speak for a long time. Then he picked up his phone, called Della, and said 5 words. Don't contact us ever again. She started talking. He hung up. We filed a police report, not because we wanted drama, but because Della had essentially tried to drug a pregnant woman. The officer took the bag, the cake, and our statements. Della told them it was a joke. She told them I was dramatic. She told them Nolan would forgive her because he always did. He didn't. We moved 2 months before the baby came. New city, new number, no forwarding address. My daughter is 8 months old now. She has never met Della. A woman who puts chemicals in a cake meant for her pregnant daughter-in-law doesn't get to hold the baby she could have hurt. Not today. Not ever.